you need the
Yeah,
fame.
for what? More designer clothes and shoes you never wear? I mean, for what?
For what? What do you think? I mean, talking about Britney for a second, like the conservatorship is over. Like, I mean,
I assume you're referring to Britney Spears. Again, you're on a
yes.
first name basis. Let me just put it up front, I'm biased. I love Britney Spears. I've loved her from day one.
Who doesn't love Britney Spears, right? I mean, listen, I don't want to make another stereotype, but I'm a self-respecting gay man.
But you're
So, I
going to.
mean, well, it's about myself as a gay man. I mean, I don't know any gay man like myself that does not worship the Britney or the Madonna or the Cher of the world. So I'm just gonna bring myself down a notch here. But I mean, does this change? You know, like, I mean, in my knowledge, and again, correct me, like conservatorships are like traditionally so hard to get out of it, but we've never had one where someone's, you know, in their 30s. So, I mean, is this like bigger than Britney? Like, does this change?
Oh, it's much bigger. In fact, I've launched an investigation that we're really digging into at Fox Nation about conservatorships. And I'll tell you what started it. I was at a function, the Patriot Awards in Florida, and I was approached by this group of people. They were all dressed up like they were going to work. And I mean, they suits and nice formal conservative dresses. And they had this big folder and came to me, and I took it and they went, "Can you help us?" I said, "Who are you?" They're not relatives of each other, but every one of them has someone in a conservatorship. Some of them can't even see them, like your grandma or your mother. And I knew a little bit about it. I'd never prosecuted anything like that. But I watched this movie, and you're going to laugh. It's something like, I really care with, what's her name? Rosamund, is it Pike?
Rosalind Pike, yeah.
Yes, her. I
Yeah.
love her. And she was was she in Gone Girl? Wasn't she in Gone Girl?
Was she? Maybe, yeah.
Anyway, she played a conservator, and it was a business. It was a conservatorship business that handled them in large scale, and how someone fought to get a loved one out of the conservatorship. And I was like, whoa, does this really happen? And then out of the blue, a few weeks later, this group approached me at this public event asking for help to expose what was happening to their loved ones in these lockdown conservatorships. And then, of course, Britney's story came out, really hit the headlines, and it made everyone aware of the dangers of conservatorships, where you really give up all of your assets, your home, your car, your savings, and someone else has control of your money. And in Britney's case, she had a personal manager as well, making her health decisions, who she hung out with, how she spent her money. I mean, it was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. So, I mean, this should change things going forward.
And nobody did a thing. Everybody sat by. Her mother, her sister, her ex, Federline, they all just sat back and lived off the money while that girl worked it. You know how hard a residency is? People go, wow, that's a lot of money. You are working 6 or 7 days a week. And at night, you can have no semblance of a normal life. And there she is wanting to be with her children. What, she going to move them into the Vegas hotel? I mean, she was trapped in a gilded cage, and you're still trapped no matter what.
Yeah. I mean, when you read the facts, and now it's the more you hear, the more it's shocking.
Awful.
Well, I have to ask you, what is more difficult? This is my segue: Dancing with the Stars or prosecuting all these people, Nancy?
Dancing with Stars. I said it 500 times. I'd rather be trying a serial killer than what I did. Of course, I had fun. I loved doing Dancing with the Stars, but it was hard. It was really hard because it was something I didn't know how to do. I know how to strike a jury. I know how to work a case, find witnesses, go to the crime scene, go to the crime lab, go to the morgue. I know how to cross-examine. What I don't know is how to do the quick step. I mean, that was hard.
Do you remember anything? Do you remember the steps? Like if I asked you now to do a pasta doble, can you break into a pasta doble?
I could try. I could try. But
Well,
I got to tell you, the hardest thing about it was that was the first time I had ever been away from my children uh, that many consecutive hours in their lives. They were just 3, and we moved to LA. And my husband, for the first time, was taking them to play school, and he would also pick them up, and that just killed me. It just killed me.
well, having said all
But
of
I had
that,
a great partner, Trista McManus, great partner, very patient, and I had a great time. I loved doing it as the feisty fan favorite. I mean, the viewers really pulled me through on that one. I don't think it was my dancing skills that got me that far.
but look, it's all about, I know it was hard. You're away from your children, but sometimes they have, these all-stars, they bring people back. If they were going to do a like blast from the past and your phone rang tomorrow, would you go back?
If I could take my children with me, sure. And I would have to insist on dancing with Tristan again.
I would think that they would say yes to all of that.
Yeah. Tristan he's so happy now. He's got, I think, 3 children. He's married to the love of his life, and he has this awesome on-air position. He's so happy. And he was really very kind to me because he's this fantastic dancer, and I knew nothing. It was like pushing a grocery cart around the dance floor.
Okay, so bring your children and have Tristan. I think, listen, ABC, let's just put that out there. I think those demands could be met. From where I sit, and I think a lot of people sit, it does seem like you have, like balls of steel. Like it seems to me like nothing scares you. Like, does anything scare Nancy Grace? I don't want to make any assumptions or stereotypes anymore.
One thing, being away from my children, being separated from them. After covering all these cases, I admit it, that may have been me spying on them at recess.
That's okay.
Just to make sure some wild, crazy person didn't jump on the playground and try to steal them. Okay. So it's very hard for me to ignore what I do all day, every day, and then switch it off and try to be normal. It has affected every aspect of my life and how I raise my children. I think being away from them is the single worst thing, for me to consider.
And is it that you have like a heightened state of, because look at what you see. I'm sure a lot doesn't shock you. You see these, what goes through people's minds and the crimes, like, is it that of like, I know what people are capable of, and this is a crazy, sick world we live in? Is it that's kind of, has that made you like an overprotective mother, or you really just kind of, as hard as it is for you, keep it out of that last before you're about to say, no, don't go out or whatever?
Well, I try, I pretty much let them do